Let's take a good in-depth look at searching within Acclipse Document Manager. Your search button can be found up on your main menu. Most team members already know the basics about the search engine, or any search engine for that matter. You simply enter a keyword into the search field, click search and wait for the result. For example, ACC. Don't be worried if your first search of the day takes a little while longer. It can take a while to index. Much like any search engine, when you type in a keyword, depending on how common that is, will depend on how many results you get. So you may need to narrow it down for a result. You can see here we've searched for ACC and we get 30 documents. I'm going to show you how to search effectively so you don't end up with a whole host of documents every time. When searching for documents in the business fitness content, it can help to know something about the philosophy behind how we name our documents. Business fitness content is about procedures, following a task through from the first step to the last. So when we develop and name content, we ask, what is the task we're doing? What's the procedure? What are the steps we need to complete this procedure? And what are the tools required for each step? So for example, instead of searching for something like classification rates, search first for the broad process or task area. For example, we searched for ACC. We generally try to name the tools for each procedure so that they'll group with the main procedure in an alpha sort. As far as procedures and sub-procedures go, we tend to name them so that they'll group together as well in their various subject areas. For example, we have a group of procedures for financial statements, annual planning, financial statements, annual preparation, and so on. We also have groups of procedures, as we saw before, whose titles all begin GST, income tax, ACC, for example. Some team members tend to reach straight for the tool rather than thinking of which process they're engaged in. They search for the tool and they might call it something different from what we call it. So you'll get a better result if you think of the process first and search on that, and then narrow it down if needs be. Let's take a look at our search parameters. Our default settings for our search parameters are title, description and keywords. You will generally find this the most useful unless you're looking for something very, very specific. If you're looking for something in a very common subject area, for example, ACC, GST or income tax, you may want to add in another word after the first one. One of the most useful tools you'll find when you're searching is your wildcard or your asterisk key. What the wildcard does is it substitutes for any part of the word. For example, if we're looking for ACC cover plus, we can put ACC cover star. Make sure you don't put any spacing in between the word and the wildcard. On the other hand, we could also look for ACC star plus. It will substitute for either end. If I hit search from here, you can see we've gone down from 30 documents to 13, so we're starting to get there. Once we're here, we can start using our filters. The most useful filter you'll find will be your document types, and you can select more than one if you're not sure. We may know that we're looking for something to give to the client, so it's probably a guide or a report. And already we've taken this down from 13 to 2 documents. We can easily change what we're after if we want to look for a procedure instead, or possibly a letter. And once we've got our letters here, we can right click and we can add this tool directly into our favourites, or we can go straight to create document and populate it with our client's data. Make sure that if you're doing this, you do know what procedure you're following and you're not just cutting out any steps. You can also use double quote marks to search for an exact phrase. Let's say, for example, we're looking for ACC cover plus levies. If we search as we have here, you can see we get both cover plus levies and cover plus extra. If we put quote marks around this, we're telling the system we want this exact phrase. You can see this now takes us down to one document which has the exact phrase we're after. If you're thinking that this is a lot of steps to go through when you're searching, do remember that once you know all these approaches, you'll be able to type them in pretty quickly, and you'll also have a better idea of what you're looking for. If you're looking for an extremely specific phrase or keyword that is not extremely common, you may find that you wish to search full text. For example, if we search for BlackBerry by title, description and keywords, we can see that none of our documents refer specifically to blackberries. However, if we use full text, we can find out if any of our documents mention blackberries on their way through. and you can see here we have 2 David Russell Farm Accounting newsletters to look at. However, don't forget to turn off that full text again, because if you search for something general, you could end up with a lot of documents. You can see here we've got 409 when we search for GST. If we take off the full text, we're down to 61. If we choose letters, we've taken it down to 20. And if we add a little bit more information, we've taken it down to 2. So it's very quick to change and use your filters. Things that may help you to remember when you're searching. Don't forget that that search engine doesn't turn off until you close down your computer at the end of the day. You can minimize it and recall it from the tray on the bottom right hand side of your taskbar next to your clock. It can also help to remember that the business fitness approach to content is procedural, so think about the larger picture first. You'll also get a better result if you search for a single keyword or 2, for example, GST refund. If you're looking for something very specific or unusual, turn on your full text and use your filters. As a last resort, if you're very sure that there's a resource in business fitness content and you're not just finding it, we do update the master list of content on our website with every content update, so you can ask your administrator for this. This sets out all our procedures and the documents linked to them. It also sets out every article in the Business Fitness Coaching Library and lists all the web links.